Let's move on to NBA, where we are also both doing quite well overall. Let me read our overall records. My record in NBA: 15-7 plus 7.5 units plus 31.5% ROI. Oh yeah.
Let me give you a high five.
You do that. You do that.
15-7.
Yeah, totally.
Holy shit.
And Jim, your record in NBA: 21-15 plus 5.7 units plus 15% ROI, which is awesome. And also my leans have. Oh, thanks very much. Oh, there you go.
You're welcome very much.
Also, my leans in NBA. Actually, last night my leans were slightly negative, but my leans have been killing it in NBA. So I'm thinking about trying to push it a little bit and push my leans. I track my leans as well, 34 and 18 on the NBA leans. So yeah, but no, they don't count though. I do that for my own.
Hey, 15-7.
15-7. Yes, that's only 22 picks though. So let's see what we can do today. Today's kind of a wacky card. I wouldn't say wacky, but none of the sides I was liking or bet. But I did bet actually all 4 of the totals, and I'm not sure if I'm actually seeing what I'm seeing or if I'm just got into a weird groove where I just bet every total that I saw. But let's start with Sacramento, Indiana. I did bet the over on this one at 210. It is now 210 or 210.5. So it hasn't moved much. And Indiana has won 3 out of their last 4. They've definitely been productive offensively. They can be very high scoring when they're on. And I was thinking that the total is just a little bit too low. Should be in the mid 2 teens, not 210. What do you think?
It's an extremely difficult game to figure out. And first off, let's give the love to Oladipo, Eastern Conference Player of the Week, averaging 25.5 points a game this season. I didn't think he was capable of taking it to that level, and I'm very impressed. But Miles Turner will miss his 6th consecutive game.
But that's okay for the total.
Yes, but let's go over this though. It's Domantas Sabonis is the issue.
Sure,
so,
I know he's out, right?
Well, it looks like at one site said he had a head cold. Mm-hmm. And if it's his top head, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
right?
he's gonna be fine.
On Roto World, they said he's got an upper respiratory infection, and that sounds a lot worse than a head cold.
Yeah.
So do you know that in the past 3 Pacers victories, he's hit all 23 of his shots, averaging 13 and 10.2 rebounds. Gonzaga Bulldog. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Now, the Kings rested George Hill and Zach Randolph in Sunday's blowout loss to the Wizards. Now, that should help the over because this team is not scoring. De'Aaron Fox leads the team with 12.3 points per game. Now, I know they have a lot of guys over 9 points a game or whatever, but there's just so many question marks with the roster. So the idea is if Miles Turner and Sabonis are out of the lineup, there'll be more offense.
Right.
So that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I took the over on that one. I think that might be the one that I'm liking the least out of the 4 games. You want to make a pick on this one? I'm still thinking about it. We can come back to it.
Let's come back to it.
All right, let's come back to it. Next game that's very interesting, Detroit against the Lakers. Now, I should have listened to you a little bit more earlier on in the year because you said that you were high on Detroit in general. And, of course, they have been absolutely dominating ATS-wise, right? 6-1 ATS, 3 huge margin covers in a row. And the Lakers, after we both took them against – or no, did you take them against Washington? No, I think I took them against Washington. 2 straight ATS losses, definitely showing their true form here. Reports are that they're going to try to play faster and get some scoring, pick up the scoring a little bit. And we have seen flashes of that this year from the Lakers, higher scoring games. And Detroit, of course, can also, when they get to a track meet, can be very productive offensively. So I took a shot with the over on this one. I bet it at 208, and that's exactly where it is right now. What do you think about that?
I think that is the safest spot is the over. I'm concerned about a letdown game for the Pistons. I mean, they just played 2 enormous basketball games,
right.
2 huge comebacks against very good teams in the Clippers and Warriors. And my fear in the NBA is that it's not as simple as it looks.
Yes, never as simple as it looks. So you think that that they'll be lethargic offensively, and the Lakers might put up 110, but Detroit only comes in with like 96 and it goes under.
Well, they had last night off in Los Angeles.
Right.
That is not good.
Right.
We know what happens when players have nights off in Los Angeles. And this was the same situation when I was afraid with the Grizzlies playing the Mavericks. And if every time I was afraid I took the other side, I would be much more successful handicapped.
Really? Your fear, because my fear tends to be totally wrong. Every time I'm afraid of something, I should just have the balls to go and do it. Your fear tends to be accurate.
I tend to, when I'm afraid, it tends, if I hit that every time, I think I would be much more successful. And I'm I think this is a letdown spot for the Pistons. Of course they should be able to beat the Lakers. Of course, they just beat the Warriors and the Clippers on the road. Of course they're going to destroy the Lakers. But the NBA just doesn't work like that.
Right. Okay, well, I'm gonna take the over 208 minus 105. I did bet that one, and I'll take it. What the hell? I hope that they'll be able to. There we go. Oh, Delta 75 saying Lakers over, my best bet 211. I guess he bought up to it, or he sold up to it. All right, so let's see. Let me see. I'm just reading all these. Wow, Delta 75 likes it. Pistons 111, Lakers 109. Justin Searcy says Lakers going to put up like 90 and Detroit going to put up like 105. See, I'm thinking that the Lakers put up more than that. I'm thinking that the Lakers have a better offensive game here.
I think the issue is that Bradley is a great on-the-ball defender and Drummond protects the rim.
Salmon AA Clinic says, I agree, Lakers under 100. Wow, I might be wrong about this one. Wow. Dan Kelly saying Lakers 1-5 under. I guess he means that they've been trending under. All right, yeah. Michael Mayette is saying, Loshak, I don't want your picks. I want your leans, your gold. Yeah, exactly. My no balls plays have been the plays that have been the best. Kind of lifetime.
Trey Day here says the game will be going over, fellas. Nice pick.
All right, I'll go with it. The luxury of being up units is that you can sort of give the second tier picks and not have to sweat them so much, which for me is a good thing. And you're going to pass on this one as far as
I'm going to pass
on it. All right, then the OKC Milwaukee game is another game that I bet on the over. I bet it at 212. It's still there right now. Of course, OKC can clearly get blowout wins, and Milwaukee can keep up with anyone offensively when their shots are falling. So I bet the over. What do you think about that one, Jim? Is that a little bit iffy too?
It's iffy. It's quite iffy. I'm leaning under and may take the under. Now, I'm concerned with the Monroe injury. Jason Kidd has a plan to fill the spot. He's going to use Henson, Maker, DJ Wilson, and Antetokounmpo. My thought, and tell me what you think of this, Antetokounmpo is the MVP of the early part of the season. Clearly, first player in NBA history to average 34, 10, and 5 through the first 6 games of the season. But will the Paul George and will Russell Westbrook do whatever they possibly can defensively to stop this from continuing to happen? And that was the reason why I was leaning under. I truly thought that they're going to stick to him. Now, I know that Antetokounmpo can't really be stopped, but they're going to do everything in their power to stop this from continuing. And that was my lean. My lean was because these guys are going to, the last year's MVP is going to say, I am the MVP. And the only way to get into the Kumpo is you can't tire out a 21-year-old, So,
right.
Let's see what Tomor says. I like OKC here. I think 2 days to prepare. Boston.
I'm just concerned because Hako Schofield said in all capital letters, Lakers under Pete. Wow. That's a pretty strong comment there from Hako Schofield. Then his next comment was, "I like the over with OKC, Pete," which is also one that I was agreeing with here. Tomorino says he likes OKC here. Justin Searcy saying no unders with OKC. Yeah. Delta 75 saying total sharp in the Bucks game. Yeah. God, I might be on the wrong side there with the Lakers game, huh? What do you think?
There's stuff happens in the NBA that are beyond our control.
Yes. All right, well, I bet it, and I'm on it, and I'll go with it. If it's a loser, I'll eat it. I bet it, I'm on it, I'll go with it, I'll eat it. There you go. Story of my life. I bet it, I'm on it, I'll go with it, I'll eat it. All right, so what do you want to do with the OKC game? Do you want to give a bet on that one, Jim?
I wanted to until you were on the over and the chat is on the over, and that might be enough to lean me off of it. Mr. Picks God says over OKC, and he says Detroit over as well. Oh my God! Dolphins just traded Jay Ajayi to the Eagles.
Wow! All right, so we got only about 10 more minutes here, Jim. We got to pick it up. So, are you going to do something with the OKC Milwaukee game?
No.
Okay, you're going to hold off on it. All right.
You guys have led me. You've scared me.
All right. Now, and then the Phoenix-Brooklyn game is another interesting one. This one I did bet the under on, and I got, I think, 230.5, and that is right where it is right now. It's 230 or 231 or 230.5 right now. And, of course, Brooklyn has lost 2 in a row, ATS by margins after the big Cleveland win, right? So something's up with that. Before that, they had rattled off a bunch of ATS wins in a row. And Phoenix, since the coaching change, 3 straight ATS wins. How long is that going to continue? I know that the Nets have a bunch of their big 3-point shooters out, so that, and I'm also thinking that Phoenix is. I know that they've tried to step up their 3-point defense and their defense in general under Triano, so it's a high total here, and I took a shot with the under. What do you think about that, Jim?
I was shocked at the 230 total, but I just can't trust the Phoenix Suns defense or the Nets defense. But you're right, with Quincy Acey hitting 52.4% from 3, he'll miss the game. Damari Carroll is questionable. Now, the Suns are looking like a much better squad with the old knucklehead Jay Triano running the show. They beat the Kings and Jazz at home, then only lost to Portland by 7. So is this going to continue? This is my question. The Suns are allowing 105.7 points per game, and the opponents are shooting 36.5 from 3. Are they that team, or are they the team that allowed 128.7 points per game and teams were hitting 50% from 3? The Nets are 9-2 in their last 11 meetings with the Suns. I thought this line was a nice spot for Brooklyn. Is it still 4? Let me check.
Yes, I believe it is. And while you're checking, Tomarino Tomor says, I like Phoenix here. They've covered the spread every game since fired the coach and are playing hard. Phoenix' weakness is slower tempo games because they don't have great inside scoring. Excellent points, Tomarino Tomor. Tomarino says this should be up tempo. Delta 7575 says Suns 115, Nets 118. So that would put it slightly over the 230. Yeah. I bet the under. Again, I bet all these very minimum unit sizes. But yeah, I was thinking about a shot with the under there. Hako Schofield continuing to post in capital letters. Stay away, Lakers, Pete. Wow. Yeah. Listen. Again. Look, I bet it. I'm on it. I'll ride with it and I'll eat it. Yeah, Phoenix and Brooklyn. Tomo really liking Phoenix. At some point, their boost from the coaching change is going to deflate, especially with all those youngsters. But this might not be a game where that will happen. I'm going to probably pass on this one. The total is 231. I did bet the under, and I'm not sure what I think about this one. Jim, what do you want to do with that?
I am going to make a bet on this game.
Okay.
I've had success. So I've had a very nice month, and the success I've had is betting against Western Conference teams coming over to the Eastern Conference in both the NHL and the NBA. And I'm going to continue doing that. I think the Suns, yes, they've looked good. Yes, if you're just watching the last few games, the Suns look much better than the Nets over the last 4 or 5 days since the coaching change, sure. But more things go into these games than that. And they're going to travel to Brooklyn, and it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to take the Nets. Now, I didn't see a 4. I only saw 4.5.
There's a 4 at BetDSI right now. -4, -115.
Beautiful. That's
Okay.
what I'm taking. Nets -4.
-115.
Yeah. And I like it.
Nets -4, -115, and yeah, I guess. I mean, obviously, in recent years, I've definitely gotten burned trying to get cute with these high-scoring teams and the super high totals, taking them under, and I've definitely gotten burned more than I've been right about it. So this feels like one of those situations as well. Although I did cash yesterday with an under on a game just like this, but that one also moved in my favor by the time the show was going.
And there's some great points on the board. Tomor, we know Tomor's a great capper. He says, I think Phoenix's defensive stats are misleading because they play up-tempo. They have a lot of young talent. Brooklyn doesn't have a true point guard. I understand what you're saying, and there's absolute truth to what you're saying. But another guy comes in and is talking about how Brooklyn's been at home for a week. Dan Kelly comes in, haven't left New York City in over a week. I mean, Wiz doesn't know if Carroll is in or out. We don't know. He's questionable. But I think that I think this is a good spot.
A lot of interesting comments here. Michael Maeda says, seems like a great day to not bet the NBA. That was actually what I was thinking as I was looking over the 4 games. And Tri Day says, trust me, Loshak, great pick with the Lakers. So there you go. Except the difference is that Tri Day's comment was in just normal lettering, and Hako Schofield's is all in caps. So that means that Hako Schofield presumably feels more strongly about it. Salmon AA Clinic says, I love it, bag nets. I love it, bag nets. Presumably that's a strong endorsement for your Nets pick there.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.